Shalom, this is GMS Mailbag again. This is an update. One thing I forgot to mention is the fact that not only is the elect going to come out of just America, but really all over the world. All right, and they're going to be brought from being delivered all over the world. They're going to be brought to the wilderness, which in the first mailbag, the first part of the mailbag series I did, I showed you that logically the wilderness would have to be South America. Now, if we go in the book of Matthew 24:30-31, it says, "And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man." That sign is those chariots, which the white man calls the UFOs. The Son of Man being the heavenly, Son of the Heavenly Father, Yahweh Shai, Son of the Heavenly Father, in heaven. And how is he coming back? He's coming back in those chariots, which are called so-called UFOs. "And then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn." Why? Because he's coming back for destruction. He's coming back to save the elect, but for everybody else, he's coming to bring destruction. And the number one place that's going to be destroyed is America by those chariots, along with the nuclear missiles. "And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds." Another term for the clouds is those so-called UFOs. In the book of Psalms 104:3, it tells you that the Lord make the clouds his chariot. "And they shall see the Son of Man coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory." That is those chariots, okay? Which all over the world, they're going to see those chariots, pursuant to Revelation 1:7. "And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds and from one end of heaven to the other." So the elect are going to be gathered from the four corners of the earth, okay? So if you have the elect in over there in England, over there in Europe, over there in Russia, over there in Asia, Africa, Australia, wherever they're scattered, they're all going to be gathered together, from Canada over there, and especially America, because the main deliverance is going to take place here in America, because this is Babylon the Great. And they're going to be brought to the wilderness pursuant to Ezekiel 20:35. Let's read that again. "And I will bring you into the wilderness." This is after they're delivered, the elect of the people. "And there will I plead with you face to face." Again, you look up that word plead from the Hebrew shapat, which means judgment, meaning it is here in the wilderness, which I believe, get that map, which I believe is going to be South America. It is here in the wilderness which the Lord will plead with us. In other words, make us judges like we're supposed to be. And then we're going to be brought to the land of Israel. All right, because that is our land. This is Isaiah 14:1. "For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land." So the people over there in Israel right now claiming to be us is not, that proves they're not the real Israelites, because the real Israelites are not in their land right now. Now this is a future prophecy. So reading on, it says, "And the stranger shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave unto the house of Jacob." This is all Israel. So we're going to be set back in our own land. But first we have to be brought to the wilderness, where the Lord will plead with us, pursuant to Ezekiel 20:35. And I believe that that wilderness will be South America, down here. And the reason why I believe that is because of the UFO hotspot activity that happens over there in South America, in particular the Brazilian rainforest. As you read down here, it says the area surrounding the Amazon rainforest, Brazil in particular, is another such hotspot for basically for UFO activity. So America being the number one place for UFO activity, in particular Arizona and places like that, but America is going to be totally destroyed. Take a look at this map here. You see America is like a Swiss cheese, piece of Swiss cheese. America is going to be totally destroyed, man. So it would make sense that South America would logically be the place of the wilderness spoken of in Ezekiel, the 20th chapter. And when you do a search of the list of UFO hotspots of the world, Brazil comes up as number 2. So that just makes sense. And remember, the elect are not just going to be gathered here from just America. They're going to be gathered pursuant to Matthew 24 and 30. They're going to be gathered from all over the world. All right? And brought to the wilderness, and then from here brought to Israel. All right? Whoops. Israel is down here. Brought to Israel. All right? And there it is right here. Isaiah the 14th chapter, the 1st verse. Set in their own land. Their own land being what? Israel. All right? So basically this is an update. You know, pretty straightforward to the point update for the lesson called Wilderness. And this is GMS Mailbag, and we'll see you in the next lesson. Shalom. And hopefully, brother, your question is answered. And you brothers, feel free, you know, you can ask questions. Make sure they're legitimate questions, though. You know, don't be asking me if the Most High wears shorts, you know. I mean, that has, you know, make sure that those are questions that are edifying. So with that, this is a GMS Mailbag, and we'll speak to you later.